love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you. Here we go. I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So tell the bird of peace on earth that only love can bring. I'll help it grow by loving everything. Key change. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. When change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am. I applaud you. Now it's time to stand up and sing Where There Is Love. Where there is love, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, nothing is too much trouble. Where there is love, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, nothing is too much trouble. There is always time, 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 there is always time, 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 there is always time, time, time. Whoa. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. Whoa. It's time to meet and greet your neighbors. Break it down. Where there is love, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, nothing is too much trouble. Where there is love, where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, nothing is too much trouble. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. Whoa. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. There is always time, time, time. Whoa. Where there is love.
Good morning, beautiful center. Good morning. And welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley. I'm Reverend Carla Shiradas, your staff minister. And did you know that today is a celebration?
Every day is a celebration.
Yeah. I invite you all just to breathe in with me. Just breathe in. Take a deep breath in and recognize that that is the breath of Spirit breathing you. What more could there be to celebrate today than that? And if you're here for the very first time, we would like to welcome you and let you know that we are a trans-denominational center, meaning that no matter where you are on your spiritual journey, that you are absolutely welcome here, you are safe here, and you are loved. So welcome. We're going to start this morning by doing our opening ceremony, lighting the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths as the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as our practitioner, Bonnie Tartney, lights the last candle, let it represent the path that led you here today. And we will be taking 2 moments of silence together in peace.
I invite you to take a moment to just be in the now and know with me that there is only the divine, for it is all there is. It embraces all form, all humans, all living creatures, all experiences, for there is no thing beyond the one divine spirit. It is pure love, beauty, wisdom. All that can be imagined is part of the divine one. And I know that each and every one of us participating in this community event today, whether in person or on the web, is blessed as our service is blessed by the beauty, the love, the divine essence that pours forth as we commune and learn together in divine wisdom. I am grateful for our musicians that contribute to the beauty of our service, and for the love and caring that goes on with our community. For this and so much more, I give thanks as I release these words into the law. And if you agree, please help me anchor this prayer by saying, "And so it is." In the center of your book is our global vision. Please join me in reading it together. Everybody there? We see a world that works for all, where lived according to spiritual truth, where unity and connection are emphasized, where people have enough food, homes, and a sense of belonging, and where there is peace, harmony, and justice for all. Today's affirmation for November 9th. I am grounded in the life of God, sustained and renewed by Spirit at every level. And so it is.
And now won't you all join me in giving a warm, warm welcome to our guest soloist today, the beautiful Chelsea Van.
When a step seems too hard to take, every turn feels like a big mistake. It makes you want to close your eyes and hide. But trust yourself, even when you're scared. Don't give up, don't give in to fear. All the strength you seek, you'll find inside. Open up, spread your wings and rise above the clouds in your mind that blind you to who you really are. Don't waste your time. No one else can live your life. So open up to what you've known all the time. You are more than you are. You are more than you are. Speak your mind. Make a statement.
Don't hide yourself out in the open. Step into the spotlight and shine. And be the change, fall like a domino. A chain reaction can set the world aglow. You'll be amazed at how it falls in line. Open up, spread your wings and rise above the clouds in your mind that blind you to who you really are. Don't waste your time. No one else can live your life. So open up to what you've known all the time. Round and round we go. We don't fall down. We're more than flesh and bone. We are heart and soul, light and miracles. You are more than you are. You are more than you are. You are. Open up, spread your wings and rise above the clouds in your mind that blind you to who you really are. Don't waste your time. No one else can live your life. So open up to what you've known all the time. You've known all the time. You are more than you are. You are more than you are.
Thank you, Chelsea. Not quite as tall as Chelsea. Let's give Chelsea, Dan, and the band another hand. Well, grand rising, everyone. My name is Reverend Dr. Alice Reid, and I'm the spiritual director here, and I'm so happy to join you on this beautiful fall day. Definitely reminds me a little more of the East Coast than most of our fall days here in Southern California. But it is a little bit chilly. It's supposed to be 80 degrees later. Like, the weather here is lovely, and one of the reasons I just love being here in Southern California with you. And of course, you are another reason I love being here in this part of the world. So thank you for joining us this morning. This month we are exploring this topic of loving no matter what. Loving no matter what. We're looking at leaning into those places where we might find discomfort, where things may not feel like they're landing. Maybe there's a challenge of some sort that we're having. But what we teach in this philosophy is that it's all God, that everything we experience is spirit manifesting through the body of God, which is you, which is the earth, which is the environment, which is everything that we experience. And today we're talking about the ground of being, and we're going to go a little deeper, literally, because I want to talk about dirt. Anybody want to talk about dirt? The sacred soil of life itself. I love the metaphor of gardening when we look at our teaching and our philosophy, and I think it lands really well with folks when we begin to think about how life recreates itself over and over again. There is this thing that is happening below our feet that is full of endings and beginnings, and it is full of the holy mystery. When I think about fall, I think about the leaves that fall into the ground and decompose and go down into the soil, and it becomes food for insects and worms and creepy, crawly, dark, wet, moist things, right? and for some of you, you might be like, ew. But that is really part of the decomposition of life, is part of the creation of new life. And yet we live in a culture that doesn't really honor that. We are all about the blossoming and the blooming and the flowers and all the things that happen above ground that we deem as beautiful and lovely. But maybe we haven't really come to understand the power, the beauty, the very presence of the soil beneath our feet. I remember being very discombobulated when we were in the beginning of the pandemic, and I had an acupuncturist who recommended, her prescription for me, if you will, was to take off my shoes and stand on the earth. To take off my shoes and to feel the ground beneath me and to connect to something. And that's what we're talking about this morning. We're talking about the groundedness of spirit. And many of the zeitgeist and the popular trends and the culture and the things that we talk about, when we talk about spirit, we think of airy things, right? We think of, and if you come from a traditional background, you might be thinking of God above, right? But what we know is God is below as well. God is in the very earth we stand on. I was at a retreat up in Canada over the summer, and there was one guy who never had shoes on. The entire conference, everywhere I saw him, in restaurants, downtown, in the conference, the guy was barefoot constantly. And I remember looking over at him and thinking that it was strange, but at the same time, I got it. You know, he didn't want to feel disconnected from life. And so he was barefoot everywhere he went while he was with us. And I wondered if that's how he went through the airport to go home. You know, Ernest Holmes reminds us that life is all there is. And because both in nature and in spirit, nothing is ever wasted. Nothing is wasted. Spirit uses everything, all of life. It uses the things that the decompose, that go into the soil. It uses the life beneath us. It uses those creepy crawly things, the earthworms, I remember back east when I would be doing some gardening and I'd, be tilling the soil and I'd see all these, I'd reach some sort of patch of dirt and there'd be a ton of potato bugs. Anybody know what potato bugs are? Yeah. Now, I was not moved to sit down among them. But I knew they were doing the work of tilling the soil, of aerating the soil, of making sure that oxygen and nutrients could move through the soil so that it could support life. And a lot of times we don't realize that even the decay that we might be experiencing, and maybe that decay shows up as a lost job. Maybe that decay shows up in your life as a lost friendship, or moving to a new place and leaving behind your friends and family. Maybe that decay shows up as losing a loved one. And oftentimes when we have those experiences of loss, we don't see them as the rich, fertile ground of spirit tilling the soil of our soul, getting us ready for something new. One of my beloved teachers, Marcia Sutton, used to say, incomplete endings inhibit new beginnings. And I think in our culture we have lots of incomplete endings. There's places where we aren't comfortable with loss. We're only comfortable with the new shiny bauble of whatever it is we're looking for. And yet there is richness in our losses as well as in our successes. And so that's where we can get grounded, when we can remember the power and the presence of God in everything, and that everything is always in transition, transforming, shifting. Energy can never be destroyed. It only changes shape or form. It moves from one form to another. And as I was putting together my remarks for this morning and I was thinking about this topic, I was reminded of my father. My father retired at the ripe age of 42 and left his first career as a salesman and moved to the Ozarks with his second wife when I was a young adult and became an organic farmer. Now, I don't know if you can imagine this, but, he was kind of had, for most of my growing up, he was that guy with the short haircut and the suit and the tie and the collar buttoned all the way up to his neck and clean shaven. And this guy decided in his second career to be an organic farmer in the Ozarks, and I have this beautiful picture of him in work boots and jeans and a white t-shirt and a beard down to the middle of his chest. But he still had the salesman haircut. Yeah, he really reinvented himself. And one of the things that he taught me when he moved out, and I did not go with him to the Midwest, but when he moved out to the Ozarks and became an organic farmer, he was in the Ozarks, and if you know anything about the geography of the Ozarks, them there is lead hills. They are lead-lined hills, and the dirt is like clay. And he wanted to be a farmer, and so the only way that he could become an organic farmer in those lead-lined hills was to make his own dirt. So he made an acre of raised beds, and he fed those raised beds with chicken manure and kitchen scraps. He would go out there, was a guy who grew mushrooms, and he would go out there and get all his used logs, and he tilled all of that, and it took him a couple of years, but he had like the richest soil around. And he grew tomatoes and herbs, and the businessman in him never quite left, and he ended up starting a business before it was popular. You know all those little herbs that you buy in packages in the grocery store? Well, he was doing it on his own in the Midwest until the big companies started doing that. But my point in sharing that with you is that he understood and he taught me the importance of tilling and feeding the soil. And it's a great metaphor for our spiritual journey. It's a great metaphor for the soul of us that needs to continue to be cultivated, that we continue to need to nourish it. And sometimes it gets nourished with some icky stuff. I can tell you from personal experience that some of the hardest things that I've had to move through have become some of the biggest strengths that I have. And what I've learned in this philosophy and in teachings like this is that when we can begin to understand and respect that the grief and the sorrow has as much to do with the care and feeding of our soul as the happiness and the joy and the successes, when we begin to understand that and move into that consciously, well, the harvest is amazing. Wouldn't you agree, those of you who have done that, who have moved through your hard times and done it consciously and integrated whatever it was that experience came to tell you? So when we talk about this idea of the ground of our being, we're talking about loving it all. Loving the good times and loving the hard times, loving the sad times, knowing that it's all God moving through our life, like the earthworm that goes through the soil and it swallows dirt and then it evacuates dirt. Life is like that, and the sooner we can embrace that, the more we are going to experience a greater depth within ourselves. There's a fun story that a fellow by the name of John Rodell was writing about, where he said he had a wild and crazy lawn and garden. And one day his neighbor came up to him and gave him some weed killer and said, "You got to take care of those weeds." And he looked at him and he said, "Well, they're flowering. I don't know that I need to kill them." And he went on to draw out this metaphor that oftentimes when we find things that annoy us, when we find things that we don't find lovely, we throw poison at them. We throw poison at them through our dislike and our judgment, and through avoiding them or attacking them in one form or another, when this is life too. This is life too. What I have found in my own, there's a great practice in farming called biodynamic farming, and it's Rudolf Steiner made it popular back in the day, and the idea was that you would let a piece of ground just go wild. And that piece of ground, the weeds and the crazy stuff and the stuff that you didn't know was there would come up and it would grow. But the same thing would happen underneath the soil. It would help to uncompact the soil and loosen it up. And then you would till it all back into the soil from which it came. Now you may feel like I'm beating this metaphor of gardening up quite a bit. You can tell I miss gardening. But my point is that, we don't have to kill it, whatever it is. We don't have to make it go away. We don't have to eradicate those things that are uncomfortable, those things that we're not sure of, those things that make our skin crawl. There's something of God in it for you as well. There's something in the groundedness of your being that it's there to help open you up about, help so that you can see that the bliss and the joy and the beauty of life is in the weeds as it is in the roses. That life has nothing but blessings to offer you, no matter how it shows up. And so I thought, as we talked about this topic of grounding, I'd offer this practice to you, that just a couple of steps that when you're feeling kind of like I was in the pandemic, where I was feeling very like sinning about how I was going to stay grounded and how I was going to continue to build community when everybody had to social distance and or shelter in place. The thing that I found to ground me was leaning into it, to being still and listening, to following my acupuncturist advice and taking my shoes off and feeling the ground beneath my feet, of simply positioning myself exactly where I am, to pause, to see what this experience had to teach me, to let Spirit speak to me through silence, and to settle in. And quite simply, that first step is to be still and listen. The second step when you're trying to ground yourself is to honor what's beneath, to gently till the soil of your soul and be aware of what's buried there, that wants oxygen, that wants to be cultivated, that wants to come forward. The third step is to release consciously, to bless whatever comes up for how it has served you, and to allow it to return back to that creative process, to allow it to move through you, not to avoid it or push it away or bury it deeper, but to allow it to come up, to be released, whatever it is that's providing you with turmoil or discord. And then fourth step is to trust renewal, because beneath every ending, life is still moving. Life is still transiting itself through us. It is still making our roots reach deeper. It is the soil in our soul that is alive in and of itself. And so the thing to do when we are finding ourselves dealing with loss or discord or challenging things isn't to run, it isn't to fight. It is to be still, to go deeper, to let go, and to trust that something new is coming forward. I have a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He wrote a beautiful essay on nature. And he wrote, "In the woods, I return to reason and faith. The currents of the universal being circulate through me. I am part or particle of God." It's a beautiful essay that talks about the livingness of all nature. It talks about the movement of nature through its paces. And we can always take a page from nature when we are moving through our own paces, to remember that when the tree lets go of its leaves, it doesn't die. It's nourishing itself. As the leaves decompose around its roots and the nutrients that are still in those leaves fall deep into the soil, it doesn't cry, it's over. It doesn't lament, where are my leaves? It just lets go. And that's what we need to do. We need to just let go and trust the process of life as it moves through us. We don't have to cling to the old, and we can release with love. And I'll end with this quote, also from Ralph Emerson, Waldo Emerson. "The currents of the universal being circulate through me. I am part or particle of God." Thank you very much. So let's pray, shall we? Do our spiritual mind treatment, that affirmative prayer. And so knowing that anything that is happening in your life right now is happening to serve you. And so I speak this word on behalf of myself and anyone within the sound of my voice, knowing that the power and the presence of the one life, visible and invisible, is moving through all life. It is blessing all life. It is the divine influx of the creative process, the givingness of spirit to life itself. And so as we accept that idea that life is giving itself to us, I know for each one that we are served by life. We are served by the blossoms, and we are served by the dying back of those blossoms. We're served by all the seasons of our life. And so I trust for each one that we bring ourselves consciously through all transitions that we may be experiencing. I trust that this transition of life that is forever happening, whether we want it to or not, is a blessing of the creative process, the renewal of life by means of each one. So we just breathe that in and know that even in a moment of loss, we can experience renewal. We can experience the breath of God, inhaling and exhaling by means of our body temple, by means of our career, by means of our financial situation, by means of our very life. For this is the way of nature. This is the way of the universe, forever breathing through us to experience life. So I give great thanks of gratitude for all the blessings, for everything, knowing that it's the possibility and the potentiality of the divine moving through each one, and honoring that space of creation, the liminal space between the ending and the beginning, and the ending again in the beginning. Spirit is ever in motion, so I give great thanks for this. I surrender my word, and together we say, and so it is. Thank you. And now I want to bring back our band and the wonderful, the beautiful, the talented, the very tall Chelsea Van.
Didn't I tell you I hear what you say? Never look back as you're walking away. Carry the music, the memories, and keep them inside you. Laugh every day. Don't stop those tears from falling down. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide, 'cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. With courage and kindness, hold on to your faith. You get what you give, and it's never too late to reach for the branch, climbing up, leaving sadness behind you. Fight hard for love. We can never give enough. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide, 'cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. Riding the storms that come raging towards us as we dive. Holding our breath as we break through the surface with arms open wide. With arms open wide. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide, 'cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. Oh, 'cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are.
Thank you, Chelsea. Let's give Chelsea another hand. We're so blessed you're here with us today. And are we blessed for that beautiful, beautiful music that we have that plays for us each week. Thank you, band. You guys are fantastic. And to our songbirds, what would we do without you? Getting our morning started, thank you so much. So many blessings. And speaking of blessings, it's time for our conscious, committed giving. And I'd like to invite our ushers to come up. If you're streaming us today, please feel free to follow the prompts on the screen for your giving today, or you can go to cslcv.org and give in that way as well. Do you feel fed up? Do you feel do you feel fertilized by Dr. Alice's talk today? Full, like a big pile of leaves. It was so good, so good. And so we do have a lot to be blessed for, and this is why we give to that which nourishes our hearts and souls. And if you would please read with me along in your program our offertory affirmation. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply, and it symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God, of love. You face of God. You are the face. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face. I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. One more. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
As it is given in faith, it returns multiplied, uplifting this spiritual community and all who have contributed. We know that prosperity flows freely through every life touched by this offering. With gratitude in our hearts, we release it into the perfect law of increase, and so it is. Do we have any newcomers today? Anyone here for the very first time? If you could just raise your hand for us so we can just celebrate you for a moment. Wonderful. Welcome. We're so glad that you're here this morning. We're going to Mary's going to bring a little gift to you, and if you'd be so kind to share your information with us after service, we can give you some more send you some more information about what we're all about. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And including in our newcomers today, we wanted to recognize our practitioners. Our practitioners in service are Bonnie Chartney and Cheryl Lyman, and they're going to make themselves available for prayer. It is our gift to you. We give it to you every Sunday, and it really is the finest, most giving gift that you will ever give yourself. So let us avail a prayer to you. I wanted to read to you a quote on prayer this morning. Sometimes prayer is not the act of seeking an answer, but the quiet surrender to the larger truth that already knows the way. And knowing that Spirit always knows the way, please get a prayer. And now it is time for our announcements.
Guys, thank you so much. I do have some invitations for you. For the folks that are new to our community, there's a little card that we gave you, and there's a QR code, and if you go ahead and share your information with us, something will happen. Number one, you'll get a free cup of coffee on us. Number two, you will start to get a little bit of information. We won't flood you with information about the things that are happening in our community so that you can stay in touch with us. So I hope that you'll there's a guest book there if you prefer the old-fashioned pen and paper, but if you want to use the QR code, we would love to get to know you and see you more often. We have a wonderful gathering right after the service called Conscious Connections. It'll meet in the lobby, led by our very own wise and wonderful redhead, Mary Brogdon. And so that is a great place to go and to just allow what you heard this morning, whether it was through the meditation or the amazing music or the message, and to integrate that. And so that's a very supportive group called Conscious Connections. We just finished our stewardship program, and if you haven't filled out a pledge card and you still want to do that, we've left all of that out there in the lobby as well, and we would love for you to participate in our stewardship program. It helps us put together a budget for 2026, and we really appreciate your support. We have the new Science of Mind magazine out there, 2 months worth of content for $14, $12, something like that. It's on the back. There's a little box where you can put that in. You can, month of November and December, and that's in the lobby as well. I encourage you. It has wonderful articles, and there's a daily guide that you can read every morning that'll help center you for the day. Let's see, the other fun thing that's happening is as we get into the holiday, November 26th, that's a Wednesday, we will be here at 7 p.m. to do a wonderful Thanksgiving Eve Tizay service. And a Tizay service, if you've been to the Soul Journey here at the Baha'i Center, it's very similar. It's music and meditation and readings and ritual. So I hope you'll join us for that. And then bring some pie, because we'll have a little fellowship and share some pie afterwards. That's November 26th at 7 p.m. Throughout November, we're encouraging you to enroll in our Ralph's fundraising program. You can either see Mary or Francie, and if you shop at Ralph's, all you have to do is put this code in, and we'll raise a little extra money through your grocery shopping. Ralph's is very generous, and it's a nice way to add to our coffers. Let's see, the first Sunday in December, we are going to have a very special event, right, guys? Yes, the guys are going to do a concert for us. Our house band will be doing their third and final benefit concert for this year that supports our music program, so I hope you'll come and you'll donate and you'll hear the wonderful music that they do. We're also, instead of doing the 50-50 opportunity drawing, we're going to do a raffle for some gift baskets. If you've got something new you'd like to donate so we can create some themed gift baskets for the raffle, please do. See myself or Karen or Mary about that. And we have a very special silent auction for a handmade, very large holiday quilt. It's going to be one of the special things, so there'll be a silent auction for that as well. It's going to be a great day. Did I say the date not yet? I did not. It's the first Sunday in December, which I'm pretty sure is December 7th, and it'll be right after our gathering on Sunday. This week, we have our regular gatherings, although there's a little shift in that. Mary's still doing the book study on Monday, and we're still having yoga on Monday night. We're still doing shifting sands on Thursday. We're still doing the Friday morning support group, but there'll be no yoga on Tuesday morning. So keep that in mind. Everything else is still happening. There's lots of ways for you to stay connected with us all week, to keep the cultivation of your soil happening through spiritual community. I'm so glad you came here this morning. Next week, Reverend Arpad will be our speaker, and he will be talking about living from truth. And I'm so disappointed I'm going to be in a workshop in LA because I'm going to miss Reverend Arpad, but I'm also going to miss Jan Stackpole. She'll be our musical guest. So I'm sure you're going to want to be here next week. And with that, let's bring the songbirds back up to take us out.
Please join us and stand for our last song, which is called Stand. Let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love, I am a stand for love. Let there be joy, I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love, I am a stand for love. Let there be joy, I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love, I am a stand for love. Let there be joy, I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
So repeat after me. I am a stand for peace.
I am a stand for peace.
I am a stand for love.
I am a stand for love.
I am a stand for joy.
I am a stand for joy.
And I am making a new world now.
I am making a new world.
And let that be your affirmation, and so it is.